Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Thursday, April 17th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Since Mother Goose was spotted on the roof at this kindergarten to grade 8 school in Toronto, curiosity and happiness has been increasing.
It makes me feel warm and happy that there's some happy time and warmness inside of the mother and keeping their children safe and making the world grow.
Happy and excited.
Scenes like this started about 2 weeks ago. Students have been coming to this second floor window to see a mother goose sitting on her 4 eggs.
So it's been a really exciting time. We've been going up and we've been visiting looking out the window, visiting the mama goose, making observations, seeing what she's doing, and looking and just talking about goose and why they're laying eggs right now.
All the questions leading to knowledge about nature and wildlife.
They roll their eggs 4 to 5 times a day, but I think it's to keep the eggs warm.
I learned about the mother goose protect their baby for 25 to 32 days.
Excitement is growing for mother goose's goslings to hatch. According to the school's calculations, it could be in about 2 weeks. What's going to happen to this nest, to these kids?
They crack the egg and they turn to a little baby.
With time ticking for the goslings' arrival, anticipation is building.
It's amazing. I'm new to this community, and I think it's just a really clever way of bringing nature into the classroom.
A rare chance to see the beginnings of life up close. Okay, so Mother Goose is on her eggs. She's sticking pretty tight to the nest. She does kind of get up a little bit and move around from time to time, but keeping those eggs is the focus. As for when the goslings are going to hatch, we don't know. The principal is planning to engage the students with a survey. Reporting live, I'm Beth McDonnell.
Oh, wow!
It's an act of kindness. Connie Lebrand's job is to put smiles on faces with her business, Connie's Custom Gifts.
A story in a basket.
And once a month, she donates gift baskets to charities and organizations.
So we call them kindness days. It's just always something in my heart to give back to families and people in need.
This is unbelievable.
She does this along with the help of a mystery donor, a client.
I wish he was here today, but he wishes to be anonymous. Hi.
On this day, the recipient's family staying at Ronald McDonald House.
It just blows my mind.
Ronald McDonald House is for out-of-town families undergoing care, treatment, appointments at CHEO.
This is the greatest place you never want to be.
BJ Babin here from North Bay. His son is currently undergoing chemo at the hospital.
He's doing quite well. He's responded very well to the treatment.
The gifts, a hit with other families too.
I think it's nice that people go out of their way to donate and help in such tough situations for families.
From pantry items to something to make Easter a little more special, this isn't the first time Connie, with the help of a mystery donor, have donated to Ronald McDonald House.
She comes at Easter, Halloween, Christmas, and she's also recognized some special events for our families as well. Thank you.
Lebrand's recipients next month, just in time for Mother's Day.
I want to surprise the seniors at a number of long-term care homes with just a little something so that the moms, once a mom, always a mom, but that the moms will have a little something in case they don't get to see their kids.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
This might be the one.
Winnipeg whiteout shirts are white-hot sellers at the Jets gear store as fans like Tracy House prepare for the NHL playoffs. She says ahead of Game 1, the city feels alive.
And everybody's walking around supporting their team, and it's just so much fun. You can just totally feel the vibe. I just love it.
It's not just fans feeling the energy.
We're feeling it in the office for sure, but we're seeing it, evidence of it around the city.
True North Sports and Entertainment says tickets to the first 2 whiteout street parties were gone in 10 minutes. Kevin Donnelly says once the schedule is confirmed, tickets for the away game arena watch parties will go out as fast as possible.
We're feeling it that people want to participate and take any advantage, whether that's live games or away games, we're going to make the arena available so we can do that.
The celebration isn't limited to the official street parties. Downtown bars like Elephant and Castle are cashing in on the extended season by hosting watch parties of their own.
So there's a little more drinking normally than normal, more partying, and everyone's always in a good mood though, so we're always excited to serve it.
Cleanup crews are also working around the clock so the downtown and the businesses in it can put their best foot forward.
When we look at 2024 playoffs, that very first game, which was on a Sunday, businesses saw a 90% increase in sales. So it really can be huge for their bottom line.
Meaning the more the team wins, so does the city, which these Jets faithful are hoping will be the case.
I've got all the confidence in them this year to go all the way.
I'm so excited. They've done so well this year, and I have a really good feeling about this.
So even though the whiteout street parties are all sold out essentially, you can still get tickets to the Game 2 party in the plaza. At last check, there was a little bit more than 100 tickets left for that one.
All right, act fast. All of those available tickets to the first 4 games, as you mentioned, sold out, but there is a chance a few more could come up for sale, right?
Right, so as those games draw closer, the team releases standby tickets, and so what happens is either fans have to keep an eye out for those themselves, or they can sign up for ticket drop alerts through the team.
All right, try and win the lottery, the Jets lottery.
Good luck, good luck.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you for everybody being here.
The red ribbon is cut and the doors are open to Canada's first Hard Rock Hotel at 100 Kellogg Lane. After years of planning and construction, the worldwide brand is set to provide guests with the rock star experience.
The product itself speaks for what it is. It's about music, it's about entertainment, it's about hospitality, and just walking in here, you feel the vibe already. And listen, for us to put a flag in Canada, and another one coming in Ottawa in a few months, we're over the moon.
In all, there are 164 rooms, each with unique amenities for those traveling on their own or with the kids.
With the family suite, they've got their own bunk beds and the door closes.
There are also dozens of gold, diamond, and royalty suites with VIP access for that extra touch. And then there's the 965 square foot Rockstar Suite, which comes with its own bar, dining area, and powder room.
So this room's built for celebrities. We've got all your amenities in here. You can host some of your friends, a small party. We've got a half bath on that side and the kitchen, your bar area here.
And the Rockstar Suite is capped off with this elaborate bathroom, which comes, folks, with a $14,000 toilet. Yes, $14,000. It does everything but play music. I guess you're gonna have to make your own music in here. And you really can make your own sounds here because they have guitars and classic vinyl which can be brought to your room. For relaxing, it has 2 bars including a 1913 speakeasy as well as 2 restaurants. Located in the heart of London's Old East Village, the hotel is ready to wine, dine, and put people to work.
We employ over 130 staff members, including our leadership team, and the large majority of our leadership team are from right here in London as well. So we're incredibly excited to be a major employer here, not only as part of 100 Kellogg, but in the London hospitality scene.
With music memorabilia throughout, the hotel also boasts a fitness center with yoga on demand and an indoor-outdoor swimming pool.
And you can feel the energy in the room. Everyone's so excited to get the doors open and to show people what we've been putting together for them.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
This is one of the first puppets that the Green Fools Theatre Group made for the Calgary Zoo. Dean Barham says its size is intimidating to youngsters, but that's how they learn more about the animal.
We've made almost 30 different puppets. We've made whooping cranes, leopard frogs, foxes, swift foxes, burrowing owls, you name it.
Barham and his team have now worked with the Calgary Zoo for 3 years, making puppets of endangered species. In 2024, he was invited to the Aquariums and Zoos of America America conference hosted in our city. His puppets were a hit with those attending.
So now we just made some puppets for La Tampa Aquarium, Florida Aquarium. We're making puppets for the Albuquerque, New Mexico, their zoo. We're making puppets for the South Carolina Aquarium. So it's really catching on.
Madison Steele is also taking a lot of calls from zoos and aquariums about the puppet program. She says children light up when they see them in action.
The thing about puppets is that they do come to life. And I think that what that does is that helps us to bring our conservation mission to life as well. And so knowing that these are real animals that are out in the wild, you know, and a lot of them need our help and our support. And so that really does go a long way when we talk about building empathy.
Thea Killen-Smith works behind the scenes building the puppets and loves what she does, and also getting to try them out before they're sent to clients.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the perks of the job is, you know, you have to make sure that someone else is going to be able to be comfortable and manage the piece, so you've got to try it on.
This Stingray's home is now at the Tampa Aquarium. Barham delivers them and shares his 35 years of puppetry with the new operators to learn how to bring them to life. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Getting the thread through the tiny hole in the needle, but as soon as you do that, that's the hardest part. If you have that done, you're ready to sew.
Laura Walton shows why a stitch in time saves 9.
Yo, 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 it's Cinderella Sew. Clothing can last for years and years. So cool to think about the clothing you're wearing being from like the 70s or the different eras, and it's almost just as good as when it was made years, like decades ago.
Walton started her YouTube channel to express her love of fashion. It eventually turned into a way to educate and help the community.
I love the comments. Like there's comments from like, I'm a man in my 40s and I've never sewed anything and I feel so accomplished now. Or like, oh, my school uniform just broke and you helped me on my way to school, like fix it, like stuff like that.
With over 30,000 followers, she teaches sewing skills while mending a gap in sustainability.
Everything is kind of so disposable lately. Like you have a hole in your shirt, oh, we'll just get a new one. Or I guess that's the life cycle of the shirt is over. Those clothing pieces might have holes and you can fix them really easily, or it might be something that's too big, but you can alter it.
At Patch in Halifax, Christina Pasquet agrees.
And I think like for people who make their own clothing too, they're gonna wear it longer, it's gonna last longer, they're gonna take better care of it. And there's just a sense of pride associated with that too. And just creating your own stuff is a very sustainable practice.
Repairing clothing helps the environment by reducing waste, but it also helps the wallet while catering to the creative. And pride is hemmed into every stitch.
The making is actually really simple and really satisfying, and people really are so genuinely surprised that they did it and they did it well.
Hand sewing's really pretty, and I got to learn like couture is actually hand sewing, so it's kind of a really cool like lost art.
And so she continues to teach and create, needling the path for those willing to follow. Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Hector Gendon rode motorcycles well into his 70s. He had to stop due to mobility issues. One of his final wishes was to ride a motorcycle once again. Dozens of people reached out to help, but ultimately Jasperite Robert Logan was picked. His motorcycle tour business was destroyed in last year's wildfire. Logan wanted to help make Victor's wish come true by giving back.
We've had a lot of goodwill, and it's so infectious when something like this happens. You wanted to, be part of that goodwill as well. He did mention a couple things. He wouldn't mind going a little faster.
It's their end of the life, so other people think that it's the end. But for us, there's so much more that we can do for them.
The Supportive Living Home says the experience is uplifting, not just for Victor, but for his family and for the staff.
Only 6 teams remain in the hunt for the SO Cup, and the Saskatoon Stars are one of them. Winning their Western Regional Final against the Eastman Selects in 3 games, the Stars earned a spot in the National Championship for the first time since 2019.
It's obviously a great experience for all of us, and took me 3 years to get here, so it's obviously a big opportunity for the younger girls too for recruiting, and yeah, it should be really fun.
The close-knit team is full of 3-year veterans who are getting their one and only shot at being the best under-18 female hockey team team in Canada.
It's honestly flown by so fast, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to end it. I've wanted to win every single year, obviously, and just to be able to do it in my final year when I get to be a role model on the team for all the younger kids, it's just the perfect way to go out.
The team also has rookies, including their head coach, who had the challenge of gaining the trust of the players.
A lot of these players weren't very familiar with me, and so it definitely was on me to be able to make some relationships with players and understand, how they work, what motivates them, how to motivate them.
Sirhan says a combination of a tight-knit team and every player's commitment to their specific role has led to the Stars' success this year.
I think there's an essence of that chemistry, but there's also an essence of a role. We have players on our team who have bought into what that role is, and again, that's made us successful.
And both graduating players want to leave their mark on the team that's been home for the last 3 years.
Having the opportunity to be a champion is just so amazing, and can't take it for granted.
This is a great group, one of the best groups I've been with these past 3 years, and it's just a really great opportunity, and it's something we've been working for, so seeing all that time and effort pay off is just a really big accomplishment.
The Saskatoon Stars open the SO Cup round robin on Sunday morning against the North York Storm. John Flatters, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Ontario universities are gaining attention from American students.
We do have a big American population on campus.
A population that could soon grow as students living in the U.S. look to Canada to pursue their post-secondary studies. In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for the University of Guelph says the school has seen a 31.5% increase in U.S. applicants for fall 2025 compared to the previous year. It's a 22.6% uptick in undergraduate applicants and a 100% rise for graduate studies. At the University of Waterloo, while they haven't seen an overall increase in student applications from the U.S., they have seen a jump in U.S. visitors.
We don't jokingly call ourselves MIT of the North for no reason, right? It's not a bad thing for us to attract U.S. talent.
The interest comes as U.S. President Donald Trump announced federal funding cuts to major universities, including Harvard and Columbia, citing a need for diversity, equity, and inclusion policy changes.
We have had our fair share of cuts as well. There's also a challenge of the cap we have on international students. So there's only so many we can take.
As American students look north, Canadian professors are being asked to avoid traveling south.
This is not the time to travel into the U.S. unless that travel is essential.
The Canadian Association of University Teachers issuing a travel advisory cautioning of extra scrutiny on those who have been critical of Trump or have ties to countries at odds with the U.S.
This is clearly a dangerous time for academics in the U.S. We look with concern at what's happening south of the border, but, it's affecting all of us.
Back at UW, students say despite the uncertainty, American academics are always welcome.
We're very comfortable with U.S. students, and we think that they can contribute a lot to our academic environment as well as the economy of Canada.
Students at UW are also calling on the provincial government to step up their support to be able to retain students potentially coming from the U.S. or otherwise. Leanne?
It's very interesting. Alexandra, thanks so much. CTV's Alexandra Hollick.
On Montreal's streets, more than 1,000 volunteers spent Tuesday night counting and surveying the city's homeless population.
People are hungry, they're cold.
Mirka Levasseur is an intervention worker with the Old Brewery Mission. She says the homelessness census helps them tailor their services.
We also see who is in the street, if it's immigration, if it's students.
Homelessness in Quebec went up by 15% between 2022 and 2024. The last count in April of last year found more than 9,300 people were on the street and more than 40% were in Montreal.
We're full to overflowing all the time across our network.
James Hughes with the Old Brewery Mission says while social housing is being built and there's been funding for social services, it's still far from what's needed.
So more is happening, but it's not enough. We're going to do the count tonight, and it's going to confirm what everyone knows is that there's been an increase. probably a significant increase since 2022.
Despite housing more than 3,000 people between 2023 and 2024, Social Services Minister Lionel Carman also believes this count will be higher than in years past.
We need more housing, definitely, and also we need better accompaniment for those who do find housing.
But the housing group FRAPRU says the province isn't doing enough.
The Quebec government haven't invested for new social housing in the last budget.
She adds, other than the NDP, few federal parties have addressed homelessness and the housing crisis on the campaign trail.
We have more spoke about houses, removing the tax for new houses, than actually have spoken about any engagement that will target more the most vulnerable and the most poor.
In the meantime, it will likely be several months before this latest census data is published. Angela McKenzie, CTV News.
Nick Bernard Barry is graduating from the paramedic program at Collège Boreal and has already been hired by EMS in Sudbury. He headed incident command in the school shooting simulation.
So in this simulation today, the most important thing I learned was how communication is the biggest part in these disasters. With all the chaos going on, it's really one of the only things you can control. And when you lose it, it's when you lose kind of yourself and the control that you have in this situation where you have very little.
Officials with the paramedic program say communication and a collaborative team learning approach are the goals of simulating a large-scale disaster.
It makes your critical thinking happen so that it's not if, but more so when this occurs, the students in their working environment will be able to respond better and activate all the proper channels.
This simulation of an active shooter in a school involved 125 people and was a training exercise for students, EMS, and the Greater Sudbury Police Emergency Response Unit.
Really prevalent in the world today, and with a scenario like this, we can get to practice and prepare our minds in the event that it does happen in the future.
A tactically trained paramedic also took part in the simulation. They work in collaboration with the Emergency Response Unit during high-risk incidents.
For reasons to provide protection to our officers that are being deployed to those situations, but more importantly, to provide emergency care to people that we're engaged with during those critical incidents.
The school says the simulation is also designed to make tangible contributions to the ongoing improvements to Collège Boreal's emergency response procedures. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
If you take a look at this dashcam video, the first thing you may notice are the horns on Emily Rose's hood.
It's all about the smiles for miles.
But if you look closer, you'll see a squirrel that was struck by another car.
And I didn't know if it was quite alive or dead.
So Emily pulled over and ran to its rescue.
Its tail was moving slightly.
So she swaddled the squirrel, returned to the car, and began reassuring it.
A calm voice telling it that it would be okay and that I was taking it to get help.
Emily says she has a habit of helping that includes stopping to help this car from being demolished in a junkyard.
He said if I liked it, it was $50 and it was my problem, and it's been my problem since.
And her solution for fixing this sort of vehicle that car folks dub Mopars included decorating it in such a way that it's now nicknamed Moopar.
And I love cows.
While she loves creating cow art, Emily says she's loved doing the major mechanical work on this daily driver even more.
I've put every bit of my heart and soul into that car.
And anytime she can, from volunteering to drive community members to rescuing other injured animals, she'll use Moopar to help.
Look around you, see what can be done, and do it.
Which brings us back to when Emily was driving that squirrel to the Wild Animal Rehabilitation Center.
It decided it had other plans. It totally sprung to life like nothing had happened at all.
So Emily stopped the car, and the squirrel, who she now suspects had been in shock, started moving around Moopar effortlessly.
And then it catapulted itself right above my head in between the window.
And ran into the safety of a nearby bush, where Emily hopes the squirrel will tell his friends about his near-death experience.
He'll probably say what a wild ride it was in that orange car.
That car named after a cow, driven by a woman who, instead of moving forward, was motivated to turn around and help.
It's moverless.
Utterly moverless. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Souk.